Hi, I wanted to stop in for a little bit and talk to you about traffic circles or roundabouts, or however you wish to refer to them. A lot of people don't like them, and that's unfortunate because they've been in use for a long time over in Europe, and there's a place that by necessity had to come to grips with how it was going to organize its transportation. I think if you can recall back in history, the street widths in Europe were generally like wide enough for two horse-drawn carts to pass each other in the street. And so if those are your streets and you build intensively around streets of that width, when the 20th century comes along and then on into the 21st century and traffic volumes increase, obviously you're going to have some streets that are jam-packed with traffic, and you have to do something about it, right, to keep traffic flowing. We in Renfrew have a roundabout just out in front of Canadian Tire, and I don't see anybody losing their mind over this thing. It makes sense, it's efficient, it doesn't hold anybody up. It's just, I can't think of a better way to encourage and to guarantee that traffic will continue to move and continue to flow. As the 4-lane highway makes its way closer and closer to Renfrew, sooner or later we're going to have to be aware of the fact that we're going to have an interchange on O'Brien Road, we're going to have another one on Gillen Road, and then we're going to have another one on Bruce Street. And those interchanges cause an awful lot of traffic to come into town. But unfortunately, from time to time, the highway is closed, either due to an accident or during a weather event or some other calamity, and detours become the order of business, and we can't have detour traffic coming off Highway 417, as it will be known then, coming off the highway with that kind of volume and entering into town with the town volume added to it. You're just going to have gridlock in a place like Renfrew, and we have traffic lights. We have traffic lights entering into Walmart. We have traffic lights again at the No Frills, the entrance to No Frills and Tim Hortons and that sort of thing. We have another set of lights at the corner of O'Brien and Gillen Road. These sets of lights represent traffic flow problems if there is some sort of problem with the highway or some reason why the highway needs to be closed. And so that's why in these intersections there is actually some serious consideration being given to putting roundabouts at those locations, at those intersections as well. And again, the whole point of that is to maintain a traffic flow. So you can imagine if we have traffic coming in off 417 due to some misfortune that's happening on the highway, and we have these constant red lights, that you're going to have a backup of traffic clear through town, or at least this part of town going into the downtown core of the community. Another place that could seriously somebody should take a serious look at is the intersection between Fortington and O'Brien Road, or Veterans Memorial Boulevard. I'm not quite sure where O'Brien starts and Veterans ends and vice versa, but anyways, that intersection is a dangerous one. Not only do you have traffic approaching it from 4 different directions, but with respect to Fortington, and then on the other side of the street, I'm not sure what that is, 8th, 6th, 7th, some numbered street on the other, but they're not aligned properly. And so what that does, anybody trying to, like for example, coming down Fortington and arriving at the stop sign with Veterans and wanting to turn left, that's a difficult proposition all on its own, because you've got to do the left-right check traffic. You've got a blind spot on your left where Renfrew Chrysler is, because the road has a natural curve there, and then to your right you have another elongated blind spot as traffic comes towards the intersection from downtown, from the Armories, that direction. And so it's a dangerous intersection to be turning left from Fortington onto O'Brien, onto O'Brien. And it's made even more so if somebody is coming along that 8th, 6th, 7th, whatever that street is, and they're approaching the stop sign and they're turning left because they want to head downtown towards Raglan. So you've got a Texas standoff there between traffic. You've got blind spots to the left and the right. You've got opposing traffic that's going to be turning into you and you're turning into them. And it's just a bit of a nightmare. And honestly, I don't understand how there hasn't been an accident taking place at that intersection. Now, if you look at the master plan, the master transportation plan for the town of Renfrew, you'll notice that there's actually a roundabout plan for this intersection as well. And that just makes sense because with a roundabout, you don't have to worry about blind spots or anything like that. Another great place for a roundabout would be that intersection that everybody refers to as Confusion Corner. And that's because it is. And, you know, the purists, the traditionalists, they're not going to like it because they don't like anything. They don't like change to begin with. But if it's talking, if we're talking about efficiency, traffic flow efficiency and that sort of thing, why in blazes would a roundabout at Confusion Corner cause any difficulty at all? It's a traffic flow instrument. Everybody gets to move. Nobody has to stand still. Nobody has to wait. Nobody has any confusion. Nobody has to race a light. It's there for a reason, and it's to keep traffic moving. You know, an argument could be made that a roundabout could probably be functional at any location where we currently have traffic lights. But I didn't take my my post-secondary education in geography or in urban planning or anything like that. So I'm just going to leave it to the pointy heads in urban planning to figure that out. But at least I'm enough of a realist despite my great age. And you would think that I would be a traditionalist and an anti-change agent, but you know, I'm just all about common sense. And you know, when I saw roundabouts starting to appear in the Canada area of Ottawa, I started to say to myself, hey, well done, somebody's actually thinking here, because these things make sense. And so I would like some of that sense to start wearing off on us here in Renfrew, because as that 4-lane highway moves closer and closer to us, our traffic volumes here in town are going to increase. And in fact, the size of the community is going to get larger because we're going to grow simply for the fact that that 4-lane highway is coming by us. So we're going to have more people around, and more people means more vehicles, and more vehicles means more traffic congestion. And so, you know, all of that taken together means that there's a greater need for somebody or somebodies to get together and come up with a realistic plan at keeping traffic moving here in Renfrew. So if you see some planning, and the master plan is on my site, and you can get it from the town's website as well. If you want to pack a picnic basket and make an afternoon of it, because the site is a little difficult to navigate if you're looking for anything in particular. But anyways, long story short, if you want to look at that document, it's available on the Renfrew Town site. It's also available on in an article associated with that on my site. And if you want an education on it, just park somewhere near the roundabout by Canadian Tire and just watch how traffic flows through there, and you'll see that it's no problem. Don't listen to the naysayers. That's all they've got, is they're afraid of change because that's all they know. But I mean, you know, like these people use toasters and they drive cars, and those things weren't always around. So, you know, there's hope for them anyways. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention, and we'll talk to you soon.